Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the CodeX podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and with me, as usual, is my co-host, Jamie Wojcik. Unfortunately, today, Tim Morse is not able to join us. We wish him the best, and we hope to see him very soon. Tim, if there was a shirt with your face on it, I'd be wearing it this episode because I missed you so much.
No. I mean, I would, but royalties, not, we need those royalties. He had to pay us to wear it. I'm just saying, with all the fat checks we give him.
Okay, well, if you said it, then fine. All right, to wear a Tim shirt, I would need those royalties and need that moolah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. His face would take up the whole shirt, so we need that to happen. So Tim, if you're hearing this or seeing this right now, you know how to pay us.
Yeah, our birthdays are both. Mine and Jamie's birthdays are both coming up in April. So, if there's a certain shirt you want to send us, what kind we'd like.
Oh yeah,
a shirt with your face on it.
I'd wear it as long as you keep paying me.
Yeah, me too. Tim, we do hope to see you soon. Thank you for being a friend.
Yes, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. But with our comic book news, speaking of paying, the guy that I would pay all the money to, Sonny, in the world to keep on DC and directing, James Gunn's doing another series, brother.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I'll let you take over.
Yeah, no, I was just going into it. I mean, we have Peacemaker coming out. I think it's tomorrow.
Peacemaker. So Peacemaker does come out on HBO Max tomorrow, January 13th.
Yeah.
So that should be good. And yeah, so our notes were a little bit mixed up today because, like I said, we were originally planning to have it be the three of us. So Peacemaker it comes out tomorrow, and James Gunn taking on another DC series. They haven't said who it's about yet, but what he's been doing, like obviously before, we remember with Guardians of the Galaxy, and then with the Suicide Squad, and now with Peacemaker, him taking on something with another DC series. It's going to be big, and I'm really curious to see which one it's going to be.
Yeah, it's just James Gunn does not miss when it comes to the superhero genre, which is scary. And if he can, I mean, I know it's a series, but if he could take over like another movie and start forming a universe after, Ezra Miller's Flashpoint, untitled Flashpoint, I want to say, I'd be happy. Like, give that man anybody you can, and just be like, here's all the characters, go play with them.
Exactly, and he'll do a great job. Imagine if it's the Green Lantern series, Jamie.
Oh, if it's a Green Lantern series, I'm losing it. I would lose it. You know what? Now I hope it is, because they've already announced who's all going to be in it, and I cannot wait. So if it is him taking on the Green, oh my, you know what? We can end the show here. I'm happy. I'm done. Thank you for rumor milling that for me. Like, that speculation is going to be playing in my head for the next 6 months. I'm it's James Gunn. It's James Gunn. It's not going to be James Gunn. And I'm be like, I hate this show.
Well, hey, remember he's taking the Guardians of the Galaxy and space and everything. Yeah. And look, a lot of the Green Lantern Corps take place. A lot of stuff happens in space with those Green Lanterns.
Right. It's always those space lanterns.
Yeah. But with that, speaking of DC, new DC villain was announced almost on accident, Jamie, for the Black Adam movie.
Yeah. So with the toy line that's coming out for the new Black Adam movie, it was confirmed that Sabak is going to be another villain that plays in the movie, which, for those who don't know who Sabak is, he's an older character, not really that well known. He's got more of like demon powers or demonic powers that he uses, which is great when you're going up against, Black Adam. He was around back in the time, I think by a different name though. They changed his name once DC got the rights, but I believe it was Fawcett that had Shazam and had the rights for that too. So once they transferred it over, his name got changed. The same thing with Captain Marvel being Shazam now. So with that being said, we're going to have a whole new villains maybe, that we haven't seen or anyone's seen since like the 30s.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's interesting that they're doing it. Yeah. So I was unfamiliar with the character of Sabak, so I looked him up, and he looks like he's straight from hell.
Yeah, it reminds me of like a Trigun Mongol type looking dude. Like, That's why I keep thinking, or Demon Knight, or yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks cool. I want to see how it translates to screen because we haven't got much of them. So I want to know what their idea, like their process of going into it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I could almost see it being like he's so evil that almost Black Adam has to turn, like even though it's bad against bad, you know.
he's got to be the good bad, like the not the chaotic bad, but like the neutral bad.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'm like somehow with it being focused on Black Adam, I don't see him as just staying completely bad throughout the whole movie. I'm like somehow he's gonna have to do something a bit heroic.
I wouldn't say heroic. I would say making moral decisions. At
But I
that
mean,
point,
and then he's gonna have to take on Sabak. So if anybody has seen Sabak, you gotta have something in you to fight that thing.
he's got a point, ladies and gentlemen. Sonny makes a very valid point. Hey, that's the first one of the year. Yeah. I wish I had a clap meter in the background right now. That'd be amazing. But no, I mean, with that though, all that coloring, everything that goes into Black Adam because he's all black and gold. I want to talk about something that's happened with a colorist, which never usually happens. Invincible Colorist is suing Robert Kirkman for no basically royalties as far as the Invincible show goes. And this took me by surprise because I thought that he was a prominent aspect of the show because it's basically the show with their animation style. It kind of reminds me of just like the peel and stick format. Like you take the character, put them onto the screen, give them a little animation, you're good. And I thought that was the case, and I was totally wrong from reading this article. He's gotten no rights to anything. It's kind of like the Brubaker situation where like it was hush money, but he didn't get hush money. He got no money.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And now he's suing. I think it was like $200,000 or the rights, or he wants to be part of being called co-creator of the character and the series. And dude, like I'm gonna be the first one to say I do love Kirkman's work. I know it's not the first time we've had instances where allegedly, screwing other like artists or colorists or letters, whatever it may be, out of something. But this is a big one when it's Invincible. I mean, it was a prime comic when it was coming out at the time. And then even the crossovers with Spider-Man and everything else, like, I feel for William Crabtree. Like, I wish the best for him in this. I hope he gets somewhat justice out of it.
Yeah, because just imagine like you create one of the biggest characters probably the past 5 to 10 years, and then you're
Through
not getting credit.
Independence.
Yeah. So and then too they did say that William Crabtree he drew and was the colorist for the first 50 issues of Invincible.
Yes.
So he was on it for a while. And then to see your character that you helped create become get this big great show, and then you're getting no money. And yeah, I think I'm trying to remember something in the article was saying that he believed he did sign it, and then it was like, no, actually, if it's through this, you don't get the money.
Right. It was like a no
yeah.
void type kind of thing. Like if you don't go through the process, you're not getting anything out of it, or you did sign and you do get like X amount. But even that way, like if you have a whole creative team and you worked on a book for over 100 issues, I would go to bat for my guys. Like, especially if my name is the prestige and then the rest of them are just following suit. Like, I would. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
I think Kirkman's gonna come to terms with it and they're gonna settle it. So I hope.
Let's hope so. Me too. I hope so. Trying to make the people get their dues,
Right. But yeah, with that, I mean, like I said, one of my favorite, independent. We're gonna go right on to one of your favorite characters, Sonny.
Oh yeah.
Dwelling out of the X-Men.
Yeah, that's right. X-Men, there is Wolverine right there. And for those of you who are huge fans of X-Men like me, especially the 90s animated series, I have good news. Dodd returns as Wolverine, as the voice of Wolverine in the X-Men 97 series. He posted a picture on Instagram where you see him recording. He's got a jacket on. It says Logan. He's got the 3 fingers up like the claw. So the voice of Wolverine in the 90s will return. And the series, which is set to come out in 2023. So like I told you guys about it, I was super pumped. Like, oh, I'm super happy about this. So it's great that Wolverine will be back to being Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, we had Rogue already be confirmed, the same
Yep.
voice actress. I just want to know how these guys sound if they kept their voices, like if they remember how to do the voice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear Wolverine and be a different Wolverine from the same guy playing Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because you wonder how someone's voice changes after something around 25 years.
Right, and at their age, can they still pull? Like, I don't see them sitting in their home after XMen the series was done and sitting in front of a mirror and just doing the Wolverine voice for 25 years every morning just to keep it warm, just to make sure in case my time comes again. We've had many of voice actors come after that. One of my favorite, and I'm gonna be honest, one of my favorite was X-Men Evolution.
Yeah.
When they were like, wasn't it when they were like high school?
A little bit, yeah. So it was a little bit after the animated series, when they were more like high school geared.
But like you hear their voices and it's like, okay, cool. You got a new aspect, new like way to train it in your brain. And then I go back to the old X-Men series and I'm like, this sounds nothing like what I was watching.
Yeah, for me, the X-Men 90s series, even when I read comics, those are the voices I picture in my head. It's like that's with Kel Dodd's voice. That's how I always picture Wolverine sounding.
Yeah, I have that same problem with what's his name now? Robert Downey Jr. Every time I see Iron Man on a screen,
same here.
I do, and it's for, and most people go to like the Joker, they go to Heath Ledger. I go straight to Mark Hamill.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, Mark Hamill is the one because the voice.
Yeah, I go straight to Mark Hamill on it. Like I hear it in my head. Like I think I scare myself sometimes because I'm like I do the laugh and I'm like, did I do that or was that in my head? Like
yeah. But Mark Hamill. Like some of those voices were just legendary for the characters. It's hard to imagine anybody else doing them. And there have been other voice actors who've done good jobs at doing the characters. Like I said, Wolverine, the Joker, but sometimes just certain voices, you're like, that's the voice. It can't really be beat.
No, and it's always going to be that way for me, especially with certain characters. You think of people like Spider-Man. When I read Spider-Man, I always go to Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
Don't know why. I liked Andrew Garfield more. But
Spider-Man, I think I kind of switch with Spider-Man.
Yeah. And then for people that I don't know, I just make up voices.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, for many of the characters, like I said, that are pretty unknown. And then, well, now I guess that will lead us to the next subject, still on to X-Men. But
of course,
it is the new X-Men costume has been revealed for the Secret X-Men. And now the Secret X-Men is actually a one-shot that is scheduled to come out February 9th. And last year, there was a voting of who gets to be a member who joins the X-Men.
Yes.
And Polaris won. And with this series, the Secret X-Men, it's all the characters who lost.
Yep.
Who were not in there, like Forge and Strong Guy and Boom Boom. And I believe 6 others on top of that, Banshee.
Do you know how that all worked out originally with that voting? No one took it seriously. They just thought it was just a contest just to see who like the most obscure X-Men character was that they thought.
Oh yeah.
And no one was voting at the beginning. So they finally said, look, this is for a place in the comic for one of the characters. And then everyone jumped in. And then like Polaris took over at one point and just demolished everybody.
I'm trying to remember if I voted Polaris. I think I might have voted Banshee.
Yeah, there was something on there where it was like the percentage was so high for Polaris. I believe it was that or it was Banshee because I think they were in different brackets or something. But like it was just outrageous. Like I didn't vote obviously because I don't know the characters that well. I think my New Year's resolution, and I didn't tell you this, Sonny, was to try to get more involved with X-Men. But I don't know where. So me and you got to talk after this because I have no idea where to start.
Okay, X-Men number 1.
Yeah, I don't like when people do that. Give me something that's gonna give me a hook. We already did
like
the Phoenix Saga, and I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't something that was like, I want to keep buying it. I want to go back. See what happened to get to this point. So yeah, you guys are gonna hear me either praise or demolish arcs of X-Men.
No way. That Green Lantern, that Blackest Night rating, it's looking very 3.2 right now.
Yeah, just like what you did to the Venom series for me.
No. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm hoping in 2022 maybe we can do Venomverse. We've gone through Edge of Venomverse. Maybe now I'll get to
Yeah,
Venomverse.
But if we do it, I would like to do it as Venomverse and Venomize because they're both 6 issues.
Oh, okay.
So that way you can go back and it's like you said on your review for Once and Future. It's a flexible number because that was just the setup. The rest
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, we've talked about X-Men. Like I said, February 9th, the Secret X-Men comes out. It's a one shot, and that one I want to get. I want to get that one.
I think I'm gonna pick it up too. To be honest with you.
Yeah, because even too,
It's a
like I said,
one
if it's
shot.
just one shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then but that is the truth. I'm not lying. That is not a rumor. It does come out February 9th. It isn't one shot. But now let's get on to the rumor mill. Jamie, every now and then when we've heard rumors, you've been like, oh, we'll add it to the rumor mill. So now we should have this segment added to comic news, rumor mill, and Jamie, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, and with rumor mill, guys, remember these are all speculations. This is our idea of what we would do if we had these characters to play with and if these are true. So with Doctor Strange 2 coming out, Eric Bana is rumored to come back as a variant of the Hulk. Now, with that being said, since then, we've had every character imaginable who's ever been in a Marvel movie be rumored to be, brought back. I just heard today that me and Sonny were talking in the pre-show at twitch.tv/CodeX podcast. For those who are watching or listening, they were talking about Ben Affleck coming back as Daredevil. I was like, why? I'm like, you guys did great with doing the whole Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield thing. Don't kill it.
Yeah, they said don't overdo it. Yeah.
And you're going to oversaturate that market now. You're not going to have... Now every time there's something to do with the multiverse, to me, there's going to be a problem where people are just going to come just to see who's coming back for the 10-minute cameo. They're not coming back for that movie for that specific reason.
Yeah.
It kind of ruins the movie for me now.
And then too, I think if somebody, I think a lot is going to be like, see, with all these rumors, somebody, oh, I'm expecting this person. When they're wrong, they're immediately going to say, oh, the movie's bad. They're going to give it low ratings because they're wrong.
Oh, they're going to, and everyone's going to bomb it, like the ratings, because everyone hates being wrong. Like look at the whole Mephisto theory that went on since like the Disney Plus show started. Every single episode was Mephisto. It's Mephisto. It's Mephisto. We're into what do you call it? We're on a Hawkeye. Mephisto's in this. Why is Mephisto screwing with Hawkeye? Give me a good reason. Like, give me a theory where I can attach to understand your concept here. And none of it's happened. Like,
yeah, no Mephisto yet.
No, none. And you know what? I can't wait for him to pop up because I want to be like, this is where it's happened. Of course, it's gonna be Ghost Rider.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah. Which that's a rumor mill too, that Norman Reedus or Keanu Reeves are going to be Ghost Rider, which I would like Keanu Reeves to be Ghost Rider. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, yeah.
The nicest man in entertainment is the most evilest.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to see that. And then some more rumors you got there going on too.
Oh yeah, we got also Andrew Garfield coming back for Amazing Spider-Man 3, which was a big one, which I kind of see happening. And
yeah, a lot of people are getting excited about it.
And hear me out. I want to see an Andrew Garfield movie, the third one, where this is before No Way Home. You can even lead it into him, like the end credit scene, him walking into the portal of No Way Home. You know what I mean? But I want to see when he stopped pulling his punches, when he was just low, and just taking out everybody. I just didn't care anymore. But with that, they also are talking about him being a part of Venom and him be the Spider-Man for that Venom in that, their Venomverse or their Sonyverse.
Yeah, I was hearing about that as well too.
I think that'd be amazing since they already planted the seed, spoiler alert, for the Venom being left behind in No Way Home. You know what I mean? You can now make that your own whole thing, and then Tom Holland can worry about, Venom and his side the right way, the way it was in the comics. Which they'll probably do 3 movies of it being completely nonsense, and then the last 30 minutes are going to be perfect. Which
hopefully it gets awesome and everything before the last 30 minutes of the trilogy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of I've heard even people saying that they want to start petitions to make that Amazing Spider-Man 3 I even
Yeah.
heard rumor actually about thing possibly doing a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man
Yes.
4.
Yeah. Oh, well, it'd be yeah, that would be 4. That because he wanted to do the last one with Sam Raimi, and they were talking about it, and then as soon as they started talking about it, the contracts went under. And actually, Doctor Strange, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be a prominent character in 4.
Oh,
They were supposed to
there you go.
introduce him into the his Marvel universe at the time, because Bleecker Street that he's on? He mentions it like several times, like in the movies. And
Oh, cool.
J. Jonah Jameson, they're like, who should we call Doc Ock? And he's like, one guy's like, Doctor Strange. He's like, name's already taken.
Yes, so you're right. I do remember that. Yeah.
So it's like he's already established, kind of. So it's like, why not? Why not? If you make the 4th one, bring Doctor Strange in. And
Yeah,
that's a
that'd be
good
cool.
way to have Multiverse of Madness with 2.
Yeah, and like we were saying in the pre-show, we were talking about we need that Nick Fury face-off between David Hasselhoff and Samuel L. Jackson.
Which
Jamie was
I
really excited about
guessed the
Dolph
name
Lundgren,
right, or
Punisher.
the age right of Samuel L. Jackson, and I was a year off on the Hoff.
Yes, so we were saying Jamie, if that was in a Do You Know, Jamie would have gotten Samuel L. Jackson's age right, and he would have
Yes.
been only one off for David Hasselhoff.
Can we do it? Do you know where you asked me that question? So
But it was a pre-show, so it's
doesn't count.
just an extra thing you can brag about. We'll know about it, but no points.
Yeah, no points for you. The points don't matter. Nah, but yeah, there's so many rumors going on right now. It's insane because it opened the No Way Home opened doors for so much to happen now. But I figured out my biggest problem with No Way Home. And I'm going on a side tangent here, Sonny. I need someone to hear me on this. And I've been waiting to talk to you for the last week about it.
All right, so here we go.
That whole movie could have been resolved with one sentence. Can you make everything that Mysterio said like it never happened? Instead of, can you just forget about me being Spider-Man? Can't you just make Mysterio, like everything Mysterio said, everyone forget?
Yeah, they actually would have solved it right there. He's a high school student, so
he's supposed to be the smartest one. Yeah. And I'm sitting over here 2:00 in the morning trying to figure out why he didn't just say that. Think about it. Would have been a movie, 30-minute movie.
But hey, we got 2.5 hours more.
Plus we got all the Spider-Man back, so I'm not upset.
Yeah, but you do make a good point.
I do. I was like, dude, I wanted to call you that night. I was like, right after the show, I was like, I need to call him, but I was like, I'll talk to him on the show next week. So
yeah, but that takes care of that. That takes care of the rumor mill, and actually, that takes care of all the comic news for this week.
Yes, which is great.
Speaking of comic news, and the pre-show, there was something you said you wanted to bring up before the comic news.
Yes. So, thank you for reminding me, Sonny, because I totally forgot. I went on that tangent for a minute. No, DC this week, for the first time that people thought would happen, finally happened. Every title that has come out for DC this week is a Batman or Batman family adjacent title. There is nothing else besides those that came out this week. 12 issues of just Batman lore. 12. Now, I know people tend to say that, the only reason DC survives is because of Batman. And this ain't helping. This 1 week is not helping that. But I mean, I think it's good that, Batman's such a prominent character and like the way we grow in our society as comic book nerds and fanatics. There's some good books still by him, with him in it, and by the writers that contribute to it, and artists and colorists. But I think 12 is a little much and wasn't thought out properly. Like, it wasn't spread out like it should have been.
That's what I wonder. Like, I know you said there was a lot. You said there's Batman. You said someone more like on Harley Quinn, someone like Joker, but surprisingly, there was no other character that had an issue coming out this week. Or do you think they almost even did it on purpose? Like, oh, here's a special week where it is just the Batman family.
This would have been a perfect like Batman Day week thing.
Yes,
that they could have done. You know what I mean? But no, they didn't. They could have. They didn't. But no, I mean, like, it to me, it's you're overusing a character to make your point. It was kind of like with Spider-Man and all of his Spider-Geddon stuff back in, I don't know, like 4 years ago, where it was just like Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. You had Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Nonstop Spider-Man, and like everything else. Like you had so many Spider-Man titles. They had Ben Reilly Spider-Man. It just didn't stop. And like I got tired of Spider-Man at that point. Like I'm tired of Batman.
Too much of being shoved down your throat. Like, well, where do you even go? Like, let's say someone say, okay, I want to check out a Batman issue this week, and then you look and there's 12.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is what I'm reading, all of it. But no,
Yeah.
You got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But if you can't use another character, it's kind of like nonsense to me.
Yeah, especially when DC has so many great characters.
I know most of them are Batman and Jason characters, but we don't talk about that here.
Well, like I said, we were going over Blackest Night, and that definitely showed that DC has a lot of good characters.
Yes, and we'll get into that next week. I have so much to say about that. But with that being said, buddy, I think we're going into what we've been up to.
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. Said I had a mail call the other day. Decoding Panels episode, Dark Knights of Steel, number 1. You and Tim put that out there, and I was watching it.
Is my favorite one so far. I don't know why.
I watched it.
Did you like it?
Oh, it was really good. Yeah, because I haven't read the issue, so I was just going through it through you guys, and it was great. And especially the I don't want to give spoilers away. Go watch the video. It's a great one, and especially the big ending. Oof.
Oh my god!
I was like, I can't wait for you guys to do the next issue,
which will be coming out soon, hopefully within next couple weeks, not even. Because issue 3 is out too, so we got to kind of play some catch up on that. We're trying to get everything settled with Circle of Blood, because that's all done. It's just scheduling now. And then surprise, we're finally doing Deceased. So nice. Which everything, like we said, I think on the last show, is going to be, so Punisher Circle of Blood is going to be the last one we're doing issue by issue, then full story. From now on, all the main story and story arcs are going to be one full story for everyone's viewing pleasure. It just makes it a little bit easier.
Like a long movie, yeah.
Yeah, and then you can watch the whole, thing transpire instead of being like, issue 1. Then like recommended issue 3. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I do not like when that does happen. Like, certain things recommended. And then tomorrow, Thursday, I will have Boom Thursdays. See? You did the action. I did the voice.
Yeah.
I had my review of Once in Future 23. And then Jamie, you and Tim have one coming up, right?
Yes, tomorrow we have Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers issue number 14, the crossover for the Altarian War. So those tend to be a little bit longer because we get so into those because we're both talking back and forth at each other. Where usually our other ones last 5 minutes. This one's a little longer, little longer. And then we also got came back out with Breaking the Code, which will be coming out Friday. So 2 days, if you're catching this on YouTube, 2 days prior it came out, or Spotify. If you're watching right now, comes out in 2 days. So keep an eye
checking out the villains, right?
Yes, top 5 villains. It's either top 5 villains or there's a segment we did where it was the actual topic, and I don't want to give away topic because I really like topic. So yeah, those 2 episodes, and then be filming the next one Sunday.
Yeah, but that'll be good. And then you want to tell everybody what we got going on for Sunday's one, or will it be a surprise as well?
For Sunday's one, it's going to be top 5 comic book movies that changed our perspective on the comic book world. So be ready for that one. It's kind of, because it's not just now, it's not like, it's the MCU or the DCU. It's the ones that we grew up with, the ones that changed our perspective.
I already know you're going to go with Suicide Squad. You're a little performance. You got
to put the in front because Suicide Squad was not going to be on my list. I know, Jared Leto. We know. Moving on.
Okay, yeah. So enough with that. Yeah, but so that's our works. We got plenty more coming up, and then next week we'll have even more things coming up, and then definitely big things for the CodeX podcast in 2022. And don't forget, my friend, you also have some a big one shot coming up as well.
Oh, so we
wish
do.
you luck on that.
We have a lot of one shots coming up, dude.
You only have the pressure of the earth on your shoulders, so
no
pressure at all.
Oh, I already know. It's fine. I have him staring at me in the background, literally. And then there's another one you can't see on camera.
Just the night before, you're gonna be laying in bed. It's gonna seem like those comics are staring at you, like tomorrow's the day.
Yeah, like
Tomorrow.
don't mess up
this
your
up.
question. So, well, if you guys can't tell, we already know who. Well, you don't know who it is, but you know who it was a part of. So, very, very excited for this. Like, I'm a kid in the candy store at this point. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to ask him. I want to ask him like 30 questions, but we only get one because it's one shot. So I already nailed down what I know I'm gonna ask him.
You've been talking about for a while. A while ago, you're like, I know my one question I'm gonna ask.
Yes,
So
and I
I'm
said him, so I
you.
think I narrowed it down a little bit.
So I'm happy for you. And then I do have a question for you. Do you know what
The
time
Muffin
it
Man?
is?
Oh, yes. It is 6:29 Central Time.
Yep. Which means it's time for Do You Know?
I love how you did that.
Yeah, but even though I really even looked at my
There-
watch.
There's nothing here, Sonny. What? No.
Here we go. But yeah, so last week you started us off.
Yes.
So this week I will start us off.
All right.
Okay. And do you know, Jamie, since we've been going over Blackest Night, we won't be reviewing it this week, but my questions are really Green Lantern related. And even I was thinking, I'm like, oh, Jamie's
And
gonna.
this is
Oh,
how I'm
do
gonna
good.
get all of them wrong.
Okay. Come on, just remember, you had the confidence. You got Samuel L. Jackson's age right.
Yeah, but like Samuel L. Jackson only comes out like the groundhog just to see his shadow and he goes away. So that's kind of like my confidence.
We'll see. All right, this one, you know your Green Lantern characters, and you know the character of Sinestro.
Yes.
What planet is Sinestro from?
I just said it in my head. Give me a minute. Oh my god. I see, this is why I can't do you knows. Because it's like I'm put on the spot in front of people and I don't like it. Oh my god. I was gonna say Kondog and I was like, no, that's Black Adam. I literally said it on the show for Friday. And now it's gonna bother me. Oh, dude. You're gonna say it, I'm gonna punch my computer screen. Like, this is the first time you're ever gonna see me so mad because of a question, and I just blinked on the. Give me a minute. Just give me a second. Oh my god. I know it. Like, it's.
His name is Sinestro.
I
He
know.
is from.
Dude, like, I just went out. Like, don't, because he rules the world. That world. Like, he made a new one. Its name is. Just use it as I say it. I'm gonna keep struggling here, and I'm gonna be mad.
All right, give me the answer.
Just give me the answer.
Right. Del Sinestro of Korogar.
Court. Okay, I'm going on my question. I'm really upset right now. Like, you don't even know. I want to just shut the show off. Okay, so we all know that you did that amazing interview with Casey Gilly. For one shot. She does Buffy, the Last Vampire Slayer, which issue 2 dropped today on Wednesday, the 12th. But do you know, Sonny, what was the actual year Buffy the Vampire Slayer in comic form came out? The very first issue.
I will say 1998.
Okay, you got a point.
All right.
I'm so mad about like, because I was gonna say Kroger. I'm that mad. Like, okay, next question.
Okay, question number 2. Like I said, these are all Green Lantern.
Yeah,
the Blackest Night related.
I told you I'm gonna get every one of them wrong now.
Okay, so we know William Hand, Black Hand.
Yes.
And do you know the first appearance of Black Hand?
Got to get the issue number.
Yeah.
Because I know it wasn't that series run, so it had to be the one before it. I was say 62 for Green Lantern.
So it is Green Lantern, Volume 2, number 29.
Yeah. No, because he did have a prominent role because that one takes place right after what do you call it? Hell is named for Earth.
Okay,
As their Green Lantern. Because he fights Guy Gardner.
The good old fight, the good old slugfest, right?
And no, I'm not liking this, do you know, so far. So Sonny, we all know you're a big X-Men fan. Huge. But Sonny, do you know what was the first Marvel comic Chris Claremont was a part of?
I will say Fantastic Four.
Okay, no.
Okay.
It was Daredevil 102. He has the writing credentials on there.
Cool.
Which I was actually surprised because I was like, I never knew he did anything with Daredevil.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
And we both done Daredevil, what do you call it, reviews and stuff. So I was like,
Cool. That's why it's one of the reasons why I love it's we figure out things like that we probably wouldn't have known before. Like I said, Dad wouldn't have known, but now I know, and now I won't forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Section number 3, Jamie. We were still talking about Green Lantern for me. We talked about the show, the upcoming show earlier.
Oh dear God.
Who is set to play in the Green Lantern? Do you know who is set to play Guy Gardner in the new Green Lantern series?
I don't know his name. I know who he is. He looks nothing like him. And it makes me mad.
So you're on the right track there then.
Yeah, he looks nothing like Guy Gardner. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I want the bowl haircut, but they're not gonna do that.
Yes.
Wasn't he part of like? I feel like he was part of another superhero. Like he was part of a superhero movie before, but he wasn't like predominant. I feel like he was in XMen Futures Past for some reason.
I don't recall seeing him.
Like he was like a back character or something. I forgot his name though. I wanted Sean William Scott to be him, but
They had to make a pick, I think.
Yeah, that was.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He was in Gunn. He was in a hockey movie. Side tangent, but no, I don't know what his name is.
Okay, the actor who is set to play Guy Gardner is Finn Whitrock.
Yeah, see that I no.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm an American Horror Story fan, so that's where I will always think of him from.
All right, was he on? It wasn't the Carnival one, was it?
He was.
It was the Carnival one.
Yeah, the Freak Show. He was Jandy, the one who was the brat and who was a killer and.
Yeah.
But great performance by him though.
Yes, very. Yeah, that's actually the season that made me watch American Horror Story. I hated the first season.
Oh, I loved the first season and the second one. Oh,
I watched like the first 3 episodes and I was like, the same for me. And then the person I was dating at the time was like, we gotta watch American Horror Story, and I was like, I hated it. And they're like, no, you gotta watch the Freak Show. And I was like, all right, why not? And I was like hooked.
Yeah, that was a really good season.
So, all right, Sonny. So tagging off you being a big Marvel fan and a big X-Men fan, I'm obviously a huge DC fan. Sonny, do you know who came first in comic book world? Not movies, not TV shows, strictly comics. Was it the Doom Patrol or the X-Men?
Doom Patrol.
Yep. But for kudos points, for brownie points, can you tell me what month?
I'll say June.
Because I think we did this question before. I don't know why, but you got it right.
Okay, so it was Doom Patrol before X-Men,
yeah,
right?
Doom Patrol was June 1963, and X-Men was September 1963.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They were right after each other.
I forgot. It was one of the free comic book days, and Amazon gave like the first issue for free.
Yeah.
Doom Patrol. And I was like, wow, I didn't realize they'd been around this long.
Yes, and My Greatest Adventure, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Was the name of it.
There you go.
So yeah.
The end. Do you know?
Sonny takes it 2-0 on this one because Jamie couldn't remember Kruger.
But hey, at least you know Samuel L. Jackson's age, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got something to be proud of today, and that is Samuel L. Jackson's age,
which is
73.
There you go.
I was gonna mess up on purpose and be like 75. and then be like, I totally forgot. No. But Sonny, we got done with Do You Know, which leads us into our topic of the week.
Right. Topic of the week is, what do you think was the best comic series of 2021? As usual, Jamie has our top 3 comments.
Yeah, remember, you guys, these are in no particular order whatsoever. These are just the top 3 that we chose and we're going with. Blake Herod said miniseries wise, Stray Dogs, ongoing series, crossover. Stray Dogs is now one of the ones that I want to start checking out because so many people said Stray Dogs in the comments. It was like, all right, like, should I get it in trade? I think I had a conversation with him. It was like, should I get it in trade or can I still get the floppies? And he's like, get the trade. They're expensive now. So I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna check that out. So Bear Reese,
Mail call.
yeah, Geneva said Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run, and I've heard nothing but good things about this run. There's been a few tie-ins with the with King in Black where it just kind of blew me away, like what's going on. Like Daredevil was in jail and Elektra was Daredevil, and I'm like, why? Like, how is this happening? Which I thought, hey, I wanted to check this out, so I might start getting the singles for it, like from the beginning, and wait till I collect the whole thing and then read it. And then lastly, David Hood comes with Department of Truth, written by James Tynion. This one is something that I've heard a lot about, and I know Tim has brought it up a few times before. It's one of the, if you like controversies, like conspiracy theories, this is the book for you because it takes place with the whole government and everything else.
What did you say it was called again?
Department of Truth. So those are our top 3 in no particular order, guys, this week. And thank you guys for answering. Keep going with them. We love them. We love the interaction with you guys. So Sonny, what was your top 3, 4-ish, 5 comics from 2021?
Well, I think I kind of talked a little bit last week saying that I hadn't read so many things from the year 2021.
Right.
So
I
want to pick this question. Yes, I more want to pick this question more so I could hear what other people say and then be like, okay, maybe I should pick this up. And a lot of people, like I said, we're seeing Stray Dogs, and the Daredevil one sounds interesting. And but me, so far with what I've read, I do pick Dark Ages was my favorite series, and then obviously I'm really excited for it going into 2022. Like I said, it's Tom Taylor, it's Ivan Coelho. Ivan Coelho is the artist, Tom Taylor's writing it, and then it's the story, it's the big Marvel story that's going on, and it has like the big characters, Spider-Man. You had both Spider-Mans. You have Iron Man in there. You have Captain America. You even have their villains, like one of my favorite villains. I know you guys had your decoding. Gosh dang it, I'm messing up on my words.
Yeah, it's all right. We do that.
You guys
every
got
week.
your one coming up. No problem. It's okay. People could see that I mess up. But when picking out your top 5 villains, one of my favorite villains is Apocalypse, and I love seeing him in Dark Ages and taking on some of the biggest characters in Marvel. So right now, Dark Ages is my favorite comic series of 2021.
And the funny thing is, he did not land on either of our lists.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah, like I thought for sure Tim would have him on there. No, I was wrong. He was an honorable mention for me. Like, but no, I had actually like 4 because one was a tie for me. So my number 1 was Radiant Black. That was my story of the year in the CodeX Awards. It's still my story right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving what Kyle Higgins is doing. He was a writer on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and basically made his own Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with this book. So it's even better, but everyone hates each other, so it's great.
Nice.
My number 2 was already mentioned. It's Crossover by Donny Cates. The book just brings every single character that was dumped, thrown to the side through Image Comics, Dark Horse, whatever, and brought into one series. And it's great. It's a great retelling. It's great to see, somebody's killing writers off. Like, oh, they killed Brian K. Vaughan and Chip Zdarsky. Like, and Brian Michael Bendis is on the run. Like,
who would expect that? Yeah.
Right. Basically the summary is, I'll give you guys a quick synopsis of what I read, is everything that was written came to life. So everything from Superman to Spawn to any character you could think of came into our world, and we domed it off. So now they can't escape, but one does. And they're trying to keep that one a secret. And comic books are like the worst thing you could ever have. If you go to a comic book store, you're labeled differently. Like you can't walk down the street if anyone ever saw you walk into one. It's great from beginning to end so far. But my number 3 for the tie was Dark Knights of Steel, because that came out and that's leading in 2022. And you guys had that as your surprise.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a massive surprise as well. Wasn't my pick for the award, but it was still up there. But yeah, it definitely was one of them that like I once you picked it up and read what happened, and check out Decoding Panels if you want to see what happened. I couldn't wait for the next one. It was Tim called me for the second one. It was like, you need to read it now. Like he was like yelling at me on the phone. I was like, you don't yell at me or I'll fire you. Like this is how things work. But tied for 3 is also Venom by Donny Cates that ended last year. That Venom run was amazing. Like it made me love the character even more than I needed to. Especially with his tie-ins with Absolute Carnage, everything he had to do with Carnage. And then Blackest Night. King in Black. There we go. I got my words right. Remember that one. Koger. Yeah. But no, yeah, those were my definite, picks for 2021, which, a lot of them I can't wait for. So I'm a very impatient person when it comes to my comics.
Yeah. I think you're not too alone in that aspect there. 2021 did have a lot of great comics. Looking forward to what's coming in 2022. Yeah, we've both been messing up on our words, but now I do remember breaking the code. We have many shows going on, CodeX, but yeah, breaking the code, man. I'm interested to see what you guys have for your top 5 villains, and yeah, I'm surprised Apocalypse did not make any list.
Yeah, I'm not that big. Like, if I would have seen him in a different medium with XMen, I'd probably throw him on there based on it. But the only exposure I have to Apocalypse was Dark Ages right now, and the XMen Apocalypse, the movie.
Oh yeah, then I can see why he didn't make your list.
Yeah, I mean, I got a better version of Ooze from Power Rangers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. The CGI is so much better for it. Ivan Ooze looks so much better in X-Men than he did it.
Yeah, I definitely see the comparison.
You're gonna get off this now and be like looking him up like Jamie's right.
Comparison, yeah, like we've been seeing on Facebook, those the 10-year challenge.
Yeah,
that's like a 20-year one. Ivan Ooze in Apocalypse.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. We need to post that. I think we're gonna do that on the page.
On the page, yes.
Oh God, but yeah.
Yeah, and today we were normally going to review Green Lantern Blackest Night, but since Tim is not here, me and Jamie agreed that we would wait for next week. We would wait for Tim to be back for the 3 of us to review. Tim was really excited for it. He even said it was his favorite read of 2021.
Yes.
So we said, we'll agree and we'll do it next week. And in the meantime, I've been reading some of the tie-ins with it. So
and the tie-ins, like that was the one, I gotta say that's the one. And I'll give this away. I don't care. It's the one book where the tie-ins do matter.
Yeah, reading it, because first time I read it years ago, which just a trade, and then now reading it with the tie-ins, it does make it a lot better. So if anybody's reading it right now, I do suggest reading those tie-ins. Like Jamie, you recommended that I read the Blackest Night Batman 3-issue series. I did read that. I read the beginning. It was Green Lantern issue 3, 44, Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. So I was reading quite a few to go along with the story.
Once you get into those, the story gets so like the aspect of the whole story becomes more than what we get in everything. 8 issues. So
yeah,
but yeah, can't wait for next week.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one. We will review Green Lantern Blackest Night, and then we'll get back to our normal Do You Knows. It'll be the 3 of us playing this time. Yeah, obviously more comic news will come along the way throughout the week. We'll have a different topic of the week. Yeah. We see a lot to come everybody's way. And anything to say, Jamie, before we go? It's been a regular episode like it was back in the day when we first started the show.
Oh yeah, back when we first did it and we were scared shaking and we were just trying to like mumble our way through an episode when we
Yeah,
had no viewers.
I watched the first. I was watching some of the first episode again, and I
Mhm.
realized I barely looked at the camera the whole time. I was looking down. So
Yeah, and me,
at least it's something I've worked on.
I was just like trying to see how I fit in that box right. Like
So
but we came up with a new format. We've come a long way since then, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, keep a lookout for everything that we've been doing. As always, comment, like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any more content. Yeah, the little ping. Make sure that you guys check us out on Spotify. We're on all podcast platforms now. Finally, along with all of our episodes of the Codex podcast and everything Codex brings to the table, such as Breaking the Code and our one shots now will be available on Spotify.
yeah, looking forward to it. So everybody, thank you again for tuning in. This has been episode 30 of the Codex podcast. This is I'm the host, Sonny Kruger, and with me is my co-host, Jamie Wojcik. Thank you all. I will see you all at the next episode.
Bye, guys.